Well, I don't really want to comment on sort of how the market sort of perceives our numbers, but I think we had a very strong year behind us. I mean, we grew like 23.4% in the last quarter, 29%. We have a very intensive sort of demand in the market. We increased our order intake with 24% last year, almost 100 billion, 97 billion. We continue to increase our profitability, but not compromising investments in increasing capacity and also research and development to embrace new technologies to be relevant in the future as well. And we generated a big cash flow in the fourth quarter now, leading to a solid cash flow position for the full year. So I think it was a very strong year and a strong quarter. That's what I can say.
Michael, I've known one or two things. I've known several people who've actually been up in your planes over the years, one who worked for the Swedish Air Force as well, and they are legendary, the Viggens, the Gripens, what have you. But I just want to ask you a question about the future of manned fighters as well, because it's such an important area for you as well. You will know better than anyone that Elon Musk called the F-35 builders idiots and actually believes that drone unmanned warfare in the air is the way forward as well. How do you respond to that?
Well, I think the direction is definitely in that, it's going in that direction. I think you will see unmanned, sophisticated capabilities doing man-unmanned teaming, so to say, in there. Over time, we will see more and more autonomous systems in there and sort of at sea level and sub-sea as well, definitely. But it will take a while before we sort of see completely autonomous systems everywhere, I think. But the direction will be in that direction, absolutely. More autonomous unmanned systems. But manned fighters will be relevant for a few decades to come, I would say.
And for those of you who don't know much about your business, of course, you're in submarines, you're in ground combat. You are, of course, famous for your fighters as well. How are the sales of the fighters looking overseas? Obviously, the Swedish Air Force is a great customer.
Well, we have a number of campaigns going. We're negotiating as we speak a contract in Thailand for the Gripen E, and we have the campaigns going in Colombia and Peru, and we are extending negotiations when it comes to Brazil. They will add sort of aircrafts to their batches. So there is an intensive discussions in quite a few countries as we speak. But those are not the only big campaigns. We have the Global Eye, the airborne early warning aircraft as well, which have a number of campaigns going as well. Those are digital. It's hard to predict exactly in which quarter they will result in contracts. But of course, there is intensive discussions on these things as well in the market, not only advanced weapon systems and sensors and command and control and all that. So it's a mix of very intensive demand in the market.
Good morning, it's Karen jumping in. I was just struck by some of the comments that is in your statement today about the geopolitical security landscape is unusually uncertain. I think we all feel like that we're living through those times, but to hear it from a company like yours that's sort of really at the forefront of defence spending, but you're bringing forward that spending, trying to drive up capacity. What does that look like in terms of some of the constraints you're up against?
Well, I mean, we must sort of increase capacity, and I've said all the time that I'm not sure we're doing enough. So now we bring forward and increase our investment for capacity, specifically in areas like advanced weapon systems, support weapons, and sensors. That's really needed, and we need to have ammunition capabilities and stockpiles in Europe, and there's more needed, definitely. So for this company, it's good for the future, of course. That will put some pressure on the cash conversion in the period of 23 to 27. But we have also said that we will grow compounded annual growth rate over this period 18% instead of 15%. So it's good for the company, but we have to do what we need to do to make sure we can handle the demand which is out there. And we've taken another look at that from earlier, and we increase our pace. That's what we do. And also on R&D, of course, we need to embrace autonomous systems, as we talked about. We need to use AI agents in our systems, so we're doing a lot on that area as well. But the uncertainty is there from many sort of statements and what is happening with NATO now in the summit in Hague this summer. What will the ambition level be? Will it be 3%? That would mean a lot to many countries to sort of extend expenditure on defense spending of GDP to go in that direction. So the demand is high, definitely. That's what we see going forward.
I'm torn between